good, everyone? I am back. Rondo Reacts. Back like I never left. Um, today I am, tonight I am joined with True Poet, my cousin. We're gonna be reacting to, some vids, what I'm saying. It's not gonna be the Dar Man videos. Um, I had to take a break from Dar Man videos just because they weren't really, interesting to me. But he's been turning it up a little bit, so I'm gonna check them out again eventually. I'm gonna get back in the groove of things on this channel soon. Just been focusing on the sports channel. Link is in the description. And before we start this, True Poet, why don't you, tell the viewers about what you do?
Oh well, I'm a spoken word artist. Also do graphic design art. Um, Also design clothes. I'm not wearing any of my clothing now. I just decided to wear a Laker hat for my cousin over here. So, just to mess with him a little bit because he's a LeBron fan. Not really a Lakers fan, he's a LeBron. Uh, Also have a YouTube channel as well at Two Poet, and about to get back on social media. I've been giving social media a break, so I haven't been on Facebook, Instagram in a while. I'm about to get on there, TikTok, and all of that stuff. But you can catch me on all of these spaces at True Poet, on YouTube, uh, and on TikTok, True_Poet 1, and Instagram at Poetry with Flow, and Facebook CP Flow, and then also you got Sports Talk Sundays with me and Rondo over here. We're gonna be more consistent with it. Maybe have a few different guests as well, speaking on current sport events. Right now, the playoffs is going, so just here to support Rondo React, and we're gonna do some live reactions for all the YouTube world here. So let's get it cracking.
Yes, sir.
BX stand up, BX stand up, baby. New York, and I got a Lakers hat on. New York. Yeah.
All right, let me share my screen. We can get it popping. All right.
Wait. Before you start this up, uh, what is this video here?
Go Girls Arena debates which NBA legend needs to win a ring. So I'm thinking he's talking about, from the thumbnail I
What
saw.
we just react to it live. I just want to know what do we react to. Okay, Joe's in. All right, go ahead.
All right, go.
User Carter90. Who needs a potential chip more, Harden or Westbrook? Who needs a chip more, Harden or Westbrook?
James.
James, both really, but James.
James choked in the playoffs too many times with his own team. So he got to go get it.
But then you say Westbrook is on the same caliber as
Yeah,
Curry?
But he don't have the pressure like James.
Wait, what?
So why does James get the pressure if Westbrook's on the same caliber as Curry?
Because Westbrook already done laid the foundation for all of that shit to not even need to have to win.
Huh?
39 seconds in. 39 seconds in. I don't know how I feel about McCants comparing Westbrook to Curry. I don't think there's any comparison. I do like Westbrook, but Curry is on another tier to me. Westbrook's not
Wait a minute.
top tier to me.
Wait a minute. What? Westbrook is not top tier. Listen, you better clip this whole thing that you have here because Westbrook, yes, he's not the shooter that Curry is, but what did he average? He averaged a triple double 4 times or something like that.
Yeah,
4 times.
yeah.
You know how hard it is to do to get 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and 10 points, and he has done that 4 times in history. Jokic just did it once, so yeah, he's not. He doesn't have the championship accolades that Curry has, but as far as like player, hell yeah, I agree with McCants there. As far as like a player and accomplishments and all of that stuff, but as far as the rings, yeah, he has Westbrook beat. Uh, I personally love how Westbrook plays. He plays hard every game. He doesn't take no time off. If he could play, he's gonna play. So
Agree.
now, what as far as like changing the game and all of that stuff, yeah, I give the advantages to Curry, but they're two different players. But as far as like accomplishments, he's an MVP. Um, he's an All Star. What, 9, almost 10-time All Star? Curry is what, 11-time All Star? He has over 25,000 points. I mean, as far as like accomplishments as a player, he's not far off. You're not talking about a scrub. So I don't know about
True.
I can't agree with you on that one right there. He's not a scrub.
No, he's not. No, no, no. Definitely not.
So what's your point of view? You say you disagree with McCann. Uh, so
I don't know.
enlighten me on
I just think he's maybe if it was like Russell Westbrook, OKC Russell Westbrook, maybe. But I'm not
Were
like
you talking
The
about
Wiz
right now?
when he averaged triple double on the Wizards, it was stat padding because he was only player on the Wizards like that.
Man, you tripping, man. Didn't they get to the playoffs that year after starting off poorly? They got to the playoffs. Look at the team they had. Like they didn't have a crazy team. And you gotta look too, right? Russ can still play at a high level. He's not getting the same opportunities. But when they put him in the starting lineup, he had some crazy good games this year too. But there's different levels now. He can't, of course, he doesn't have the freedom that Curry has, so it's different. It's the same thing with Harden. You look at when Kawhi was hurt, they were saying Harden was done, and look at Harden returned back to All Star form. So I mean, I wouldn't say like yeah, right now probably Curry's a little bit better than Westbrook, but he doesn't have the same reign as he doesn't have the same reign of freedom like Curry. So, and plus the media don't like Westbrook. I don't know why they don't like him, but the media the media is very disrespectful towards Westbrook. He's not a shooter. He's never been a shooter, but his game is based off him playing hard, him getting to the basket, him doing all the things in the NBA game. Rebounding, assists, points. That's his main thing. Now, is he the shooter that Curry is? Hell no. But who is a shooter like Curry? I mean, who? So I can see what McCants is saying, but the only thing that the only two things that Curry has over Westbrook is the rings and the shooting. Westbrook is a better rebounder than Steph. He's a better passer. He's way more athletic than Steph. Okay, Steph is a better free throw shooter, but like I said, it's a wash. He got over 25,000 points. Steph has over 20, so it's a wash. Curry is 11-time All-Star. Russ is a 9-time All-Star. So he's not far off. You're not talking about a scrub.
You're right.
Come on. That's what. Yo, Russ, I love his game, man. I just don't like how the media tortures him. And he's a likable guy. He's not.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I don't know this guy personally, but I could tell like the media have their favorites.
Mhm.
So, to call him Westbrook and all of that, that's unnecessary. So, all right, what you feel about it though? Before you play the video.
Nah, I definitely like Westbrook. Definitely.
Oh, you like Westbrook?
Yeah, of course I like Westbrook. I just felt like he should have never joined the Lakers. He should have never been on the Lakers. That was a really bad move on both sides. Just because
You know why he joined the Lakers? Because of your guy.
yeah,
That was,
yeah. You get a talent like Westbrook with LeBron, you would think it would mesh well. Just because LeBron can do it all, Westbrook just has to play hard, like you said.
yeah, but LeBron didn't change his game. LeBron should have changed his game a little bit for Westbrook. It could have worked if LeBron would have adjusted to Westbrook. But instead, Westbrook had to adjust to LeBron, and it was hard. It was hard because they both. I felt like maybe LeBron should have played off the ball some more. Look, LeBron should have played like how he's playing with Luka with Westbrook. It may have worked. It may, and then basketball is about confidence too. And I felt like when he was with the Lakers, man, his confidence is gone,
Yeah.
I think his confidence is gone, but I think it could have worked. I think, because if you look at LeBron, right, everywhere he went besides Miami, he never adjusted his game. Everybody had to adjust their game to play with him. But when he went to Miami, Dwayne Wade had to tell him, like, yo, you the head guy, like, we'll follow you. But everywhere else, like, he didn't adjust. He never adjusted his game. If you look at Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, even Anthony Davis a little bit, Kyrie a little bit. That's why Kyrie left. So I don't know, man. I think Russ gets a bad rap, and I don't know if LeBron and Westbrook is beefing. I don't know. It doesn't seem like after that situation.
And I don't think there's any beef towards them. It's just didn't work out.
All right, we can hit the video.
Yeah.
See what else he's saying over.
The
Sometimes,
stats.
What's wrong with James' stats?
yeah,
Playoffs. James' stats should have been 2-time MVP.
yeah.
I mean, his numbers is crazy.
He
Triple
one game
doubles.
away from a championship.
Triple doubles. Right?
Yeah, triple doubles.
He 1 game away from a championship.
James 60, 60, 50, 50, all that shit, right?
Mhm.
Both of them come up short for the championship. Right?
Game 7 away from a
But when
championship.
we looking at James Harden,
Okay.
why you ain't won a championship, it's not because your team wasn't good enough. It wasn't because the elements around you missing the last shot. It was you didn't show up for the game. So for Russ, it's not like that's not his
I
knock.
don't know.
That's not Russ's knock.
So what is Russ knock then? So why don't Russ?
He didn't have a team to get him there.
He didn't.
He only had, well, shit, 3-1 comeback. Yes, they
No, I'm saying after that. We're talking about after that.
No, we're not talking. No, we're
No,
talking about no.
No,
we're
because
talking
James
about
is after that. They was both on the same team. James was after
No,
that.
They
no,
in the
We're talking
same-
about James Houston
No, I know.
They in
We're
the
talking about
same
Westbrook, OKC up 3-1
Yeah.
against
with Durant.
against the Warriors.
You talking about with Durant?
Yeah.
Bro, that's I just said. That's as after. I'm talking about after that. After Durant left. We're talking about Westbrook after Durant left.
Yeah, but what happened right there though?
Yeah.
What's right there?
No, it
What
ain't
happened
no,
right
no,
there
no,
is
no,
we
it-
didn't
it
have
ain't
James Harden.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
No,
You don't need James Harden. You up 3-1.
You up 3-1.
What do you mean?
James ain't got. Why James got to have the pressure, but not Westbrook? If
Yeah,
Westbrook,
He do, but this is after though. I'm talking
But
about
they
after.
do
You going
criticize-
backwards.
But they criticize Russ
going
more.
backwards.
but
Like
you,
Russ in a situation where he can't even be like James. So, he's
Why?
barely making teams right now.
But that ain't because of his talent. That's because of the politics.
That's what I'm saying.
they
So
both
you
top
can't use
75.
You
So
can't-
they
yeah,
both
that's
top
what I'm
75.
saying. You can't put him in James. Like, I don't know. It's different.
No, but I feel like if you're gonna compare Westbrook and say he's on the same caliber as Stephen Curry,
See what he says because of the politics. See what I just said?
Yeah,
Politics.
there's
What,
definitely validity
he-
to it.
right. He doesn't have the same reign as a Curry. He's not free no more. So it's like you have to adjust to whatever we give you. Like
Right.
I think he's getting paid like $4 million. And to me, he should be getting paid way more than that. He plays hard. Like, you look at even when Kawhi went out, right? When they was in the playoffs, look at his numbers in the playoffs. He had 30-something points, 11 rebounds, and he still could play. And I see Rashad's point, but I think in the NBA now, well, just overall in sports, no one man wins a championship. It takes a team to win. So I think they push this narrative, and it's wrong. It's a wrong narrative, in my opinion, to where you putting all the pressure on one person to win, and it's never. I don't think one person should get all the credit or all the blame, because to win, it's like it takes all the right recipes and remedies to everything to go your way to win. Because if you look at Boston Celtics, right, it's a perfect example. Tatum towards Achilles. He's out for the season.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, stuff like this happens. If you look at in the finals against the Raptors, KG towards Achilles. Clay, he towards ACL or something like that. But if they have full strength, does Toronto beat them? That's what I'm saying. So everything got to go your way. I don't agree with that. I don't think one person should get all the credit and all the blame. What's your thoughts on it?
Definitely, basketball definitely is a team game, and I think the media is the culprit of this. Super elevating certain superstars instead of like the whole team. That's why you don't really hear about the team. You just hear about guys on the team. Like you hear about Tatum and Brown, but you don't hear about Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford, anybody else on the team, because they're the two main guys. So I don't know if that's ever going to change, but it's a real problem in the league to me.
Yeah, because everything has to go right for you to win, and you're not gonna win every year. The times of, I think the times of like a three-peat or
No, the time of the super teams really is dead, because now teams are realizing, like what the Nuggets did, they built that team up from they drafted most of their players and they won. They won like what, back 2 championships already with that same team.
What do you mean? Oh, the Nuggets won. Yeah, they won one championship.
Yeah, but
They won one.
they've been so successful now. They started building that team like 2015 when Jokic got drafted. They kept adding on to it every year, and that turned into them, winning a chip. So now I think teams are going to realize, this super team route is not it. Like keeping
It's been
cores
not it, though.
together. Yeah,
It's been not it.
but now they're realizing it.
Because even Miami, right? They won 2 championships, but they lost 2 championships. So they went 2-2. The
Right.
Celtics 1-1, right? The Warriors with KD, what are they like 2-1? It's 2-1, I think. Yeah, I think they're 2-1. They lost to Toronto. Yeah, they 2-1.
Yeah, they lost that one. Yeah.
So it worked a little bit for them, but like organically, it works better for you to build the pieces around, like how the Bulls did it, how the Celtics did it, San Antonio. They draft, they picked up pieces to match, because it takes a recipe of a collective of guys to come together. You got to have the right pieces for you to win. So they think you can put any guy together and you're gonna naturally win. That's not how it works. But go ahead, please play the video, guys. I just wanted to.
Then goddamn it,
Give
he
him
got
the
a lot
same
of
team.
he got a lot
Give
of
him the
pressure.
same team.
He had the team. He was up
No.
3-1 and you lost. You was up 3-1 and you lost.
No.
So don't put that shit on James. It ain't just James ain't got just no pressure to win. Westbrook do too then. Like if you over here talking about he on
Who's the
you
star of the
talking
team
about
right now?
you talking about
Well,
Westbrook on the team?
Who starts as a point guard on their team right now?
James Harden does. Wasn't Russ starting this year?
Yeah,
That point.
What's the contract situation between
man,
James
that
Harden?
That ain't my
It don't
issue.
matter.
Man, that ain't my issue.
Okay, so
that ain't my.
So how are we supposed to compare?
That ain't my issue.
How are we supposed to compare?
They both top
If
75.
I'm coming off the bench for this team, and you starting,
They both
and
top
I'm putting
75.
in better production for my team than your team.
But
what are we talking about?
So one got tore down worse.
about?
One got tore down worse than the other, though. They tore Russ down.
They did do Russ dirty.
They tore Russ down.
They tore down. They tore down James too. James is still getting busy.
James left Houston and went to go play with KD.
Okay. Shit, we lost. Okay. I mean,
he left KD to go play with Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
but I still average 20. It ain't me.
See what they said? What I said earlier, right? They tore. He said they tore what Russ down worse than Harden, which is true. They tore him down worse than anybody in the NBA. I mean, they go after Harden too, but not as bad as Russ.
No, you're right about that.
Yeah. So, but I disagree with. I feel like it shouldn't be a pressure on neither one of them to win it. You just have to have the right pieces around you to win. Now, I will say this though: is it a mental thing with James Harden and Russ? Probably so. Probably so in the moment, because you can tell you can kind of tell that the stuff affects them. Whatever they media is talking about, that it does affect them though. You know what I mean? Like you got to be mentally tough. So, I mean, I like both of the guys though. I think I think to me, they top 20 players of all time. To me, maybe top 25 as far as like talent wise.
Yeah.
Top 25 in history to me. I think James Harden might be top 10 shooting guard of all time. Russ
Definitely.
Russ might be top 10 point guard of all time. But I feel like I joke around with you and I joke around with other people. I think we got to stop labeling players too, man. If you great, you great. Like I think they put them against each other too much. You know, you can have more than one great player because it's not a one guy sport. You know what I'm saying? It's a team sport. So it's not like it's boxing or tennis. But I think too many people put players and different greats against each other. When it should just be like if a man is great or a woman is great, they're great.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I need to say about that. What you think about what they're saying?
Well, and plus, Westbrook and Harden, they're playing, decent roles on their teams. You know, Westbrook's getting some, run on the Nuggets, and he's been, for the most part, pretty good on the Nuggets. I don't. Yeah, that whole Mike Malone in the
Oh
GM,
yeah, that was
that
that was terrible.
that was, yeah,
That, that I didn't at all. Like I don't understand. There got to be something deeper than that to why he got fired.
yeah,
I don't
because
know about.
talking about how Mike Malone was playing Westbrook more, and, he wanted to go. The GM wanted them to go younger. I don't agree with that. I don't. I
Yeah, and
don't think
plus
that was
top
real.
of that, right? You know what I don't like too? They highlight every little mistake Russell makes, like no other player makes mistakes. LeBron makes mistakes a lot. There's some games LeBron turned the ball over 8, 9 times.
Mm.
Same thing with Curry. There's games he looked the other day. He only had 3 points against the Rockets in the regular season. So it happens. You're not gonna always have everything go right for you as a player. But they highlight every time he makes a mistake, they highlight it. They highlight every single thing he does. When he missed the layup, man, the media was killing him for missing the layup. Like nobody else has missed the layup. Patrick Ewing to win against Indiana missed the layup. So it happens. Jordan has missed layups. LeBron has missed layups. Everyone misses layups. Everybody misses shots. So it's like, yo, you highlighting every single thing that this man does. Well, go ahead. This is crazy.
Hey, I was. Yeah, they really.
Yo, they
That's
killed
why I
him,
don't.
yo.
That's why I don't really like. Yeah, I don't. That's why I've been like not really watching like ESPN and FS1 because they highlight it's most of the lowlights that they show. Honestly, it's most of the lowlights that they talk about. And honestly, and this goes for anyone watching this live, just just search it up on YouTube. If you really want to like watch something about your team or your favorite player, just search it up on YouTube. There's better quality videos being made than what ESPN, FS1, all these other media outlets are talking about. Like, because you see it, they come up with fake news. They come up with fake news during the off season. You see it every year. Just doesn't go for NBA, it goes for NFL, NHL, MLB. They just make up fake news because they got to keep, the money, rolling in. They got to keep the viewers. So just search anything up on YouTube that you like really want to like know information on. You know, Jimmy making a video in his room is better than like Stephen A. I guarantee you.
I'm
Well, they're
Russell
playing.
Westbrook. I left here to go play with who?
You went to the Clippers, right?
And then I left here to go play with who?
So he went to the Lakers.
Come
then,
on,
then,
man.
then where else he went to the Clippers, right?
The same path, bro. It's not even the
I mean, that's not my fault. It's not the same path, but that ain't on me. We both top 75. We both Hall of Fame.
You got more
When it all
pressure than me to win. That's the bottom line.
I mean, shit. Look like right now, Westbrook has a better chance to win.
But because he ain't got no pressure.
He still has, every time he's on the court, you have pressure to win.
What did he do last night?
21.
All right. Does that look like pressure?
If he don't have that 21,
What did James do?
if he don't have that 21, if he don't have that 21, they don't win.
That's
If
what
he don't
we'll
have
do.
21,
We'll
they
say,
don't win.
what did Russ do and what did James do last night?
But well, they
I'll
both
wait.
they both get critiqued so
Oh,
hard.
we just talking
bro.
about
They
last
don't
night.
got-
Who stepped up? Who didn't?
But you can't say that because what happened in the game before? Like,
The only game that matters is the last game.
nah,
only-
it's a series. It's a series.
What happened in the last game?
It's a series.
Who's playing better in the series?
What's the
That's what I'm
series right
saying.
now?
See, that's what I'm
3-2?
saying.
3-2.
3-2. Important game. Important game.
Man, listen, man, you put Westbrook on
both
the
on the
same.
same-
You said Westbrook is the same caliber as Stephen Curry, so that means he has just as much pressure then.
Right.
Steph Curry, the greatest point guard ever, and he's on that caliber. Okay, well then that means that he has more pressure than James. Nobody's sitting around here saying James the greatest. But if you're going to put somebody next to somebody that's the greatest point guard ever, then yeah, he got just as much pressure.
That's fine.
So you can't just put that on James. Hey, top
Well,
75,
you-
right? Y'all got
right.
they both got top
You
75
want to be the
jackets.
greatest point guard that ever win?
Hmm.
You want to be the
That's facts. What Brandon Jennings said. But he's talking about like Rashad McCants is just, kind of devaluing Westbrook's 21. Like those 21 points contribute. And I'm sure he, did more than just score 21. Like you said earlier, Westbrook gets active. He gets active on both sides of the ball. He's full of energy every play. So I'm sure he was affecting the offense. I'm sure he just wasn't. I'm sure he was doing more. Grabbing rebounds, getting assists.
I'm not.
That 21 really, helps the Nuggets rather than.
Oh yeah, he won a lot of games for him this year.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have won some of the games. Because remember, Joker was out a little bit. Jamal Murray was out. They got different injuries. Aaron Gordon. So he helped them out a lot. He started some of the games. When he got his opportunity, he capitalized off. I'm not going to sit here and say that. Of course, Curry is one of the best point guards ever. You could throw Magic or Steph, whatever you decide. They both probably, in most people list, maybe 1 and 2, however you want to flip it. But I feel like Curry and Westbrook are two different guards as well. Magic was more of a natural point guard. He was a real point guard. He's pass first. These guys are score first and then pass. And of course, Westbrook is a better passer than Curry. But I could agree with the guys on some points, but some other points is like I feel like they put more pressure on Westbrook by how they dog it. That's my opinion on that.
greatest point guard that never win?
Who you talking about, Russ?
Yeah. I mean, if he's up there with, you said he's up there with Curry, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's one of the greatest point guards to never win.
John Stockton does not have
who,
a
Steph?
championship.
No, I'm talking about
I'm taking
Westbrook
over John
because you said he's that caliber.
Yes.
So that means he would be one of the greatest point guards to
He
never win.
already is. He don't have to prove nothing.
That's crazy.
So-
He don't have to prove it, but James.
So
does.
James, what would James? Is James a point guard now? When would you put James in?
James wasn't a point guard when he was doing all that shit. He's now moved to the point guard position.
So he'll be one of the greatest two guards that never won.
100%.
So they both on the same level.
Exactly.
Like I said.
Cha-ching! So we asked the chat who has a better legacy. 68% of the chat says Russell Westbrook. Better legacy than James Harden.
Okay, so more pressure on him then.
Huh? I have the better legacy.
Right, so it's more pressure for you to go
No,
win.
you have
Because
the.
they just said who.
How are you gonna build your legacy to get to mine, bro? If you don't have no pressure.
They just said that who has more pressure to win a ring. If your legacy is better than mine, then that means you have more
just
pressure.
merely asked who has
Your
the better
legacy.
legacy.
No, he didn't ask the more. You just changed the
You
question.
said who has the better legacy, Westbrook or Harden? 68% said Westbrook.
Right, and then they said, what was the question? Who has more pressure to win a ring,
And
right?
then the question from the underdog user Carter90 here on Gills Arena, presented by Underdog Woo Woo, was who needs a potential chip more, Harden or Westbrook?
If my legacy is better than I need one. Then
No, it's not. You dig it.
If my legacy is better, shit, I need a ring then to add to that legacy.
You dig it. You dig it.
Well, whoever lose first,
Y'all niggas
whoever
almost
lose
got it.
ain't gonna
I
have a
thought we had
chance.
it. I'm trying to let you get it.
Whoever
I
lose-
did get it. Almost.
No, I got
Let it go at the end.
No, I
You just
didn't.
dropped
I just
it.
said.
You just
I
dropped
just
it.
said he got the better.
I sat here and was like, yo, go ahead.
He
You
got
go ahead and
if he
cook.
got the better,
And
if
you
he
dropped
got
the
better legacy.
motherfucking ball right at the end.
All right. All right, well, let's move on. We got our next question from underdog user. Protect your neck. 3-part question. Or 2-part.
Well, they should have asked the chat to have more pressure on the legacy part. I don't understand why they didn't ask the chat who has more pressure on.
I mean, to me, at this point, in their careers, I really don't know. Like, I wasn't really on Harden. Like, I like Harden. I kind of like Harden's game a little bit. I think he can still, I think he can still get active. But I mean, who do I want to see win a ring out of the two? Probably Westbrook. Cause I like Westbrook a little bit more. I just think Westbrook is just someone you want to root for and everything. I think he's more likable. But I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Harden win one either. Like, I want to see, like, I want to see all three of them, KD, Westbrook, and Harden, stick together. I thought they broke that team up way too early. They did, but
I think if they would have stayed together, they would have won at least 2 championships. At least.
I agree with that.
I think you're right. I totally agree with you on that. Even though you biased sometimes, you're talking some hoops right there. But they broke it up too soon. Because
Yeah,
if you look
they
at
didn't.
it,
They didn't look at Harden like how Harden was a six
hold on.
man.
Let me put this point out. If you look at it when they met Miami in the championship, Oklahoma had a better team than Miami Heat. They were just younger. Miami had more experience. But as far as the team, how it was constructed, they had a solid team.
Yeah.
They just need to keep getting that experience, because that's why I don't think OKC is gonna win this year, because they don't have no experience. That's why Boston didn't win against Golden State. Experience matters. Experience matters in everything. So you're gonna have to go through some stuff before you hit the mountaintop. All great players have went through it. All of them. So, you got some guys win early, they never win again. You got some guys that don't win early, eventually they start winning, like a Curry, like LeBron. But it took LeBron a while to get his first championship. Took Curry a while to get his first championship. They all had to go through growing pains. Same thing with Kevin Durant. So I agree with you. I think they should have kept that team together. And I think this new NBA, they break teams up too fast. They fire coaches too fast. They don't have no patience. Like, keep your team, keep your core together, keep the coach together. But
Well,
they don't do that.
Yeah, because Well, I know the reason why they don't keep cores together is because of this second apron rule that they got in place. You know, that's something I guess they can't go over the cap or whatever for a certain amount of years. Player can't be on the team. Make they gotta make trades essentially, to stay under the cap or whatever.
Man, I
So
think they should get rid of the cap. I think it should be like baseball, man. That cap stuff, get it out of here. Let teams pay who they want. If they want all the players, let them get all the players. You see, in baseball, right? No matter what you do, right? The Yankees got all the money. Do the Yankees win every year? No. So you know what I'm saying? Like the Dodgers got money. Do they win all every year? No.
they're about to.
I don't know if they're gonna win this year, but if you look at the parity in the league, you
Either,
know,
yeah, yeah,
different teams
that's true.
win. So
That's true.
let them pay who they want to pay. Makes it more exciting instead of having this this luxury tax BS that they got. Let the owners get who they want to get. Some owners don't want to win. So let the owners that want to win get the guys who they want. If they want to pay the guys 40 million or 50 million, let them pay what they want. You shouldn't be taxed because you got the money to spend. You know what I'm saying? I think it would make for a better NBA because if you look at the MLB, like I said, the parity is good. Different teams win. So they don't have a cap, right? They're able to spend what they want to spend, go get who they want to get, players go where they want, and it's still parity there. At least try it for a couple years, see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you go back to how you did it before. But they worrying about the small teams, but the small teams don't want to win. They care about money. That's why you got these teams tanking and all of this stuff to get a big time lottery pick, and they don't get the lottery pick anyway because the draft is rigged. Just like the NBA and all this stuff. I think these refs and all of this, they be doing some crap, man. So to me, throw the cap out the window, man. Let them get who they want to get. If the guys want to get 4 superstars, let them get it. You see that it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think they changed the draft lottery like
Man, they rigged that
like
joint.
in 2018, 2019 or whatever. They
Man,
changed it. So
they they've been rigging the draft since the '70s, man.
I mean I agree with you.
It's
And
been
I agree
years.
that the Maverick. I agree they rigged this draft lottery too.
Of course they did.
Because ain't no way the
Of
Maverick
course,
should have
of
gotten
course they did. People are gonna say that I'm crazy, but I'm a realist. I deal with reality, not fantasy. Anybody with open eyes could see that they rigged the draft. Just like the Pelicans when they got Zion, #1 pick, they traded Anthony Davis. They like you give up Anthony Davis to give you this #1 pick. Chris Paul, when they was trying to trade Chris Paul or whatever. What it was the next year, Chris Paul left, right? They got the #1 pick. They got Anthony Davis. So it's throughout history, this has been going on. This ain't nothing new. San Antonio, Wemby. Come
oh
on,
yeah.
man. And then they got a top 5 pick last year. Then come again. What pick they at this year? 4,
Number two.
#2. So you tell me ain't something up with that? You got the same teams getting the high pick. So now, right now, they gonna have a squad. Now they gonna make the playoffs every year. Now they got a young nucleus. Now they got Castle, they got Fox, they got Wimby, and God knows who else. They got Barnes. So they putting the right pieces together. Now, if I was them, I would possibly trade that number 2 pick for somebody that I can
Go
build with.
after Giannis.
Somebody,
At this
huh?
point, go after Giannis. I'd be Giannis, KD. Like, try to
The
go after
Bucks,
these guys.
the Bucks would be crazy to trade him over to San Antonio. That'd
Shoot,
be crazy.
if the Bucks can get a haul, why not? I think y'all reached y'all max limit. 'Cause I don't think Lillard's gonna be the same after. You know,
I
he's
don't
gonna,
think I don't think they should give up on that core yet. They only been together 2 years. Why give up? Wait another year and to see how it goes. Like they haven't been healthy. I think Lillard could come back because he can shoot. So he's gonna be all right. It's not like his game is based on athleticism. He's a shooter.
that's true.
So if you get to the rim, he'll be all right. Tatum be all right too. Before back in the days when you have a Achilles injury or ACL, your career is done. But now it's different with medical and they got more advancement and all of that stuff. So those guys will be pretty good. Other guys have recovered. You look at KD. KD tore his Achilles and he came back. So still was a top player. So I don't think Giannis. I think Giannis is jumping the gun. Stay where he's at. If I was his brother, I would tell him on father. Well, his father's not here, so, but I would tell him like, yo, just relax because if you're gonna, you might end up like KD, bouncing around and you don't win. You're not guaranteed to win. If they put you together with somebody, you don't know if you're gonna win.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So just stay where you at, build the team, build up some more chemistry with Dame, maybe get 1 or 2 more pieces there, and you go from there. I would keep that core together. I may get rid of Brook Lopez and get somebody else.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that's the piece, that's one piece I would probably try to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brook Lopez. So what else were you reacting to? But what's your thoughts of the video? Who you siding with on that?
I like a lot of what Brandon Jennings was saying. You know, I think if you're gonna put Westbrook, if you're gonna compare Westbrook to Curry and put them like on the same level, then there's pressure on Westbrook to compete and everything. But Westbrook and Harden, man, if Harden would have won like in 2017, man, because they had a good team that year, man. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like. I really don't like what KD did, man. Like KD, left Westbrook, man. 'Cause I really feel like if they would have came back next year, I think they would have. I think they would have won.
Hey man, KD did what was best for him. So
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I mean, you can't knock a man for what he decides to do. Like I'm never gonna knock. Is it something that I would have did if I was in the shoes? No, but if that man wanted to go play with him, you look. If you're gonna say that, you gotta bring up LeBron. LeBron went to Miami. I don't think that was a weak move either. That's just something that he wanted to do, and he wanted to win. So if you want to win, players been doing that before. LeBron and KD did it. They not the first players to go try to join a super team. Like, listen, man, do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. But I'm never gonna knock a man for what they want to do. If they want to do that, that's on them. I'm not gonna. I'm not a judgy type of guy. So Like a lot of people do stuff that I would never do. Well, I'm gonna crucify them because they want to go do that. No, I'm not gonna do that because if you're gonna say KD is wrong, and you gotta say LeBron is wrong, because LeBron did the same thing. LeBron teamed up at the time probably two of the best 15 players in the NBA. Because Bosh was averaging like 20 and 10. Dwayne Wade was an all star, led the league in scoring, already won a championship. So if you're gonna say he's wrong for that, then you gotta say both of them wrong. But if you go out through history, super teams have always existed. I don't know where these people get like this is something new. This is not nothing new. And the media does it. The media, like, I mess with you with LeBron, but they talk about LeBron every day. And it's like, yo, come on, man. You got other people you could talk about. Why you gotta talk about this man every day? Every single thing stuff they talk about.
Yeah, I
Then you
agree.
got guys like Nick Wright that Nick Wright, he's just I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like
I agree.
LeBron is his bobblehead or something. You know what I mean? Like they hand in hand. And it's like, dude, and he's another one that really hates on Russ. If I ever meet him, I'm like, yo, what's your problem? What's your issue, man? Like, you ever played any sport? Why you always gotta say something terrible about Westbrook and everything great about LeBron? LeBron ain't perfect. Nobody's perfect. Jordan's not perfect either.
Right.
So it's like you crucify guys and your pick you want to be biased with. See, for me, I'm not biased with anything. I might joke around, but you can't take away nothing that LeBron has accomplished. You can't take away what Kobe has accomplished. You can't take away what Michael Jordan, Stephen Curry. All these guys are great players. Kareem Abdul. To me, you talk about NBA career, right? Nobody has been great as long as LeBron has. There's no 40-year-old in history besides Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan, I think, averaged like 20 points a game when he was 40. So before LeBron, you only had MJ that at least averaged 20 points a game. Nobody else. So for him to do what he's doing, you can't take nothing away from him. And I think the greatest basketball career ever. I'm talking about from high school, from matter of fact, from middle school, high school to college to the NBA. It has to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This man only lost like 2 games in college, 2 or 3 games in college. Won a championship every year he could play. Right? High school. I think he might have lost 1 game in high school. I gotta check it, but you can't take nothing away from these guys. So as far as like basketball, Kareem in totality from middle school, high school to college to the NBA has probably the greatest basketball career. As far as like NBA career from start to finish, because he's never averaged under 20 points a game, you got to get that to LeBron. You have to. So, like, I could give honest opinions about people without being biased. So these other guys can, but I don't know. I don't know if it's clickbait. I don't know if it's something for them to go viral. But you got so many things to talk about, but you talk about LeBron every day. You talk about the Lakers every day. You talk about the Cowboys every day. There's so many other teams you can talk about, man.
Yeah,
Like God, man.
and
That's
like
why I don't watch it no more. I don't watch ESPN no more. I don't watch none of these shows. I would rather watch Gilbert Arenas, Shannon Sharp, because they're gonna talk about different things. They ain't gonna just talk about the same thing over and over. So I kind of like watching them when I get a little time. And yeah, sometimes they're a little biased. Yes, they biased too. But they call each other out on being biased. Other guys will say, nah, you wrong on this one. And I have seen Gil change his mind. Well, these other dudes, like a Skip Bayless, a Nick Wright, no matter what no matter what LeBron James does, he will never be on the level where Skip Bayless might see him where he should be. Now, same thing with Nick Wright, but it's on the opposite spectrum. He'll never be below anybody in Nick Wright's mind. So you got bias from different sides. And I could never talk to nobody like that because you're not being open minded. You just because you bias and you like somebody or you hate somebody, you're not gonna have clear objective messaging speaking on this person. You're gonna just be biased. Like Skip Bayless, to me, I think he hates LeBron. I don't know if that's how he really feels, but he's always saying something negative about LeBron James. It's just if it's something positive there, believe it is negative is coming behind whatever
Well,
Skip Bayless said. I've never seen him say anything about LeBron positive, it being positive, and it just ends like that. If he says something positive, pay attention. If he says something positive about LeBron, best believe something is negative coming right behind everything.
I don't. Well, to that point, I don't think Skip, has hatred towards LeBron. I think he likes LeBron. I think he's a fan of LeBron. But I told you earlier, Skip Bayless is playing a character. They're playing character. So he
Now from
he latched onto that character, and now he has to be a LeBron hater because that's his thing. That's what gets him clicks. That's his
but
thing.
see, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because you got Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, all these people that have worked with him said that he really believes it. People that don't even talk to him no more have said that this is how he really thinks. He's not acting. That's what they all say. So if all of them are saying it and people don't, some of these people don't talk to him no more because they could be like, no, he's acting. No, they all saying that's what he really believes. For real. Like Chris Carter, I don't know if you saw this on his show. He said one time he's gonna punch Skip in the face. You seen that?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna send it to you. Cause because I think they was talking about Tom Brady. He was talking about something, and he was telling Chris Carter like, "You don't know what you talking about." But he was very condescending and disrespectful towards Chris Carter. And when they got on break, he said he was gonna punch him in his face. Well, I'm gonna send it to you. Matter of fact, you should react to it. Pull that up. Pull Chris Carter says he was about to punch Skip Bayless in the face. We react to it. Since you never seen it, pull that up. You found it?
Yeah, I think I did. Let me see.
Should be like a clip of a video of him talking about it. Is it a clip?
Tim Tebow.
Is it Tim Tebow? I think it might have been that.
All right, I found it. Then.
Found it? Now I'm talking about the clip of him talking about the situation with him and Skip.
Okay, I saw that too.
Yeah, that's well, all right. This is what you can do. You can play the clip and then play him talking about the clip. And
All
then
right.
we can react right to it.
All right, I got you.
clip first, and then play him talking about
Okay.
Is a competitive force of nature. I think you both would agree now that there is a shocking transformation with 5-6 minutes to go in the game. When they do unleash, and I'm being serious about this, that's a whole different player than you
This is
usually
the thing,
see.
though. You're giving Tebow too much credit as a competitor, though. Like he's no more a competitor than me or anyone else like
Okay, but
don't
just the ability
put
to
too much
inspire-
yeast on that.
Inspire the
You
whole
can't
football team.
No, you can't. No, you're wrong on that. He's not inspiring the whole football
No,
team.
you're wrong on that. You're wrong
Okay,
on.
well-
You're dead wrong on that one.
Well, I've been
I'm not
on the
gonna sit here
NFL
and take
field
that.
before. You never
I
have.
don't care. I know what I'm
What do
talking
you mean you
about
don't
here.
care?
Okay. Okay. Did you
So
lift
when
a
the
football team to a lot of wins? I don't know. This is a competitive force of nature.
See, that's why I don't like the basketball because he did the same thing to Shannon Sharp too.
right. He got a history of doing it.
Okay.
All right, go to Chris Carter talking about.
I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people. I'm on there doing the show. I do the show and everything. And then all of a sudden, this is when the Tebow phenomenon was going on. And he was a huge Tim Tebow guy. So I come on there on a Monday and, we're trading barbs and everything. We go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I just level set it and was like, listen, if throwing the football is important in the NFL, Tim Tebow will never be a starting quarterback in the NFL. So he got defensive, and then he came back and said, well, that's why you didn't win a Super Bowl, which got nothing to do with nothing. We went to commercial break. I took my earpiece out, and I told him, I'll never be on your show again. And if you ever say anything like that to me again, I'll punch you right in the fucking face. I'm going to be honest with you. Skip Bayless is not one of my favorite people.
See? So what you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with Chris. You could, like,
I'm
Skip
telling you,
Bayless. Skip Bayless is just, he's a journalist.
respectful and condescending, man.
Yeah, he
Very
is.
kind of very. So I'm saying, if all of these people say that's his real character, he's not acting. I'm telling you, that's what they all say. He's not acting. If you're his guy, he's gonna defend you through hell and hot water. He's gonna defend you. If you're his guy, see, like if LeBron was his guy, he would be saying the same thing he say about Jordan about LeBron or Brady. Brady is
or maybe he just got so good at being like Skip Bayless. Maybe he just got so good now that he convinced everybody that this is actually him. Because like I even then when he was talking to Chris Carter, like that's just Skip Bayless we all know. But we don't see him we don't see him with Ernestine. We don't see him at home. So we don't really know like how he is for real.
No, but he said the same thing. He interviewed his wife. He said this is how he is when he's home. When he's watching the game, he doesn't want to be bothered. He's like focused on watching the game, critiquing. He's in his zone. He said that's why he never had kids, because sports was his life. He was gonna be selfish. He said that's why he got divorced the first time, because sports was over his wife. And he said sports is over my current wife now. She's second to sports. You can look that up. These are words that came out of his own mouth. So this is his character. And he's 70 something years old. He's not a young guy. He's 70 something years old. So I'm telling you, I don't know the guy personally, but I have to go off the people that's been around him and what they saying. If they are saying that he's really like this, he's not putting on the act, then I gotta take their word for it. Because so many people have said the same thing. Like Shannon Sharp said and they don't talk no more. Said he's really like this. Stephen A. Smith said that is his real character. He just had Stephen A. Smith on his show the other day. I didn't watch it, but he was on there. It looked like they squashed their beef, and he had him on there and he talked. So that's just him. He's very disrespectful. Cause I'm gonna tell you the truth. I might have choked Skip Bayless out if he would have talked to me the way he talked. Shannon, I would have probably choked. I don't know if I would have hit him, but I would have reached across there and probably just grabbed him by the neck and said, "If you ever talk to me like this again, I'll kill you." You know what I'm saying? Or something to that nature. I don't know what I would have did, but I don't know. Maybe or maybe not because he's an older guy. I don't know what I would have did in that situation. Now that I'm thinking about it, because he's an old guy. It's not like he's young.
Right.
So I don't know if I'd have choked. But my first thought of training there, if somebody talked to me like that, is to, put my hands on. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Both of these guys have strong minds. So you showed it. So if you ever do that to me again, I'll punch you in your face. So I don't know, but he's very disrespectful. And maybe he's a nice guy outside of sports. Maybe you got a point with that. But when it comes to sports, they say he's like that for real. That's what he believes. But outside of sports, he may be a terrific guy. But inside of sports, he's an asshole. So what he said about the guy that collapsed on the football field, this guy is just like, and I'm not gonna judge him because I don't know him. I'm going by what they say. These people have personal relationships with him. I'm not judging the guy, but as men, like I tell people all the time, we're big on respect. Like if you disrespect a man, you don't know where it's gonna go. It's totally different when it's women, because we can't really hit a woman. But when it's a man, you tread in the line when you disrespect a man, because he can do anything to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So your actions can cause a reaction, and you don't know what type of reaction you're gonna get. So with him, he's very fortunate because a lot of people probably would have hit him. Maybe he got the right people that didn't hit him, but I don't know. Because you got some athletes that have put their hands on journalists before. This is not the first to put their hands on journalists. You look at Sprewell, he choked the coach out. Like, there's history of different things. So my thing is just give everybody respect. That's it.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta. You could agree to disagree on points, but nobody should be calling nobody names. Yelling at them, doing all the time. It's gonna lead
with
to
this
something else.
debate, it's just what this the debate show culture, that these sports networks do. It's just, to me, it's just old and tired. That's why, Stephen A's still on the platform, but he's like their biggest cash cow. But other than that, they do the same thing on every other show that they have on ESPN. It's the same thing. And it's just stale. It's the same thing. The only show that's not like that is probably PTI and Around the Horn, and they're already canceling Around the Horn. So that's one show that I know many are gonna miss because that's the only show that really doesn't
Man,
have
I
the
kind
debate
of
for that.
I miss the old time ESPN with
Yeah,
George Scott
everybody
and the other
does.
guys. Like when they used to talk about baseball, they talk
Yes,
about football,
yes,
talk about
yes.
tennis, talk about
Yo,
soccer. Now
NHL,
they
the
talk.
NHL playoffs are going on right now. ESPN is not talking about it at all. The only time they talk about, on First Take especially, they have like a minute segment max talking about what's gonna happen, what games are gonna come out tonight. But they don't talk about the NHL. They definitely don't talk about baseball. Only time they talk about baseball on First Take is if Shohei Ohtani like hits like a 400 feet home run. That's it. But they don't talk about highlight. They don't show highlights anymore. They don't show. They just don't have informed discussions.
I think a lot of these guys have like a lot of egos too.
Yeah,
I think when you get to a certain point, they think they're better than people. With how they present themselves and how they talk about people. I don't know them personally, but same thing with athletes and all of that stuff. When you meet these people, it's like they don't, they tunnel vision, you know. Because I've met a lot of them, crazy working where I work at. You meet all these people, and that's why I'm not really a fan of anybody. I might like somebody, but you're never gonna see me gaga over people because you meet them in person and they just walk right past you. They don't care if you're a fan of theirs. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, but I mean that's their character. Once again, I'm not judging them, but that's not how I carry it. Because I don't feel no man or no woman is better than me, and I'm not better than them. We human beings. So at the end of the day, we should carry it that way. And like I said, every person deserves respect. Now, if they disrespect you, then you have that right to take your respect away. But like what Skip Bayless just did, that was like pointless. He didn't have to say, "Well, you didn't win it," but Chris Carter is one of the greatest receivers ever. He's a Hall of Famer. He might
Right.
not have won a championship, but you haven't accomplished what he has accomplished on the football field. So you can't discredit the man that he has done something that you have never done. Like he's in the realms of being a journalist now. He's in your field, but you never could be in his field. So how could you say that what have you done? You have never even been on a football field professionally. So you can't discredit that man. So I felt like that was unwarranted for him to do that. But when he noticed with him, when he likes somebody, he goes to bat. Like you can't say nothing about Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Tim Tebow, the guys that he likes.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
cause I did like Undisputed, like the first 3 years that it was on. Cause it was a kind of enjoyable show seeing Shannon Sharp on there, Skip Bayless, them, contrasting each other. But then you realize it's Skip Bayless, and he's been having like the same talking points for generations. So it's like, what you see, what you get from Skip Bayless. He doesn't change. and that's why he's not, in media. He's not on TV right now. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, because people are just I think a lot of people are straying away from all of that stuff anyway on TV.
Yeah,
More the internet now. Um, and more athletes are becoming YouTubers and having their own podcast. So now people can go directly to the source. They don't have to go to a third party to see about a player. You can go right to their channel and go hear Gilbert Arenas, talk to Kenya Moore, to Sean McCann, Brandon Jennings, or go to Draymond show, hear Draymond talk, Byron Davis, go to Carmelo show, and now you got LeBron show with Steve Nash, so you can go directly to the source. You don't gotta go to ESPN to find out about the guy. So that's why ratings are dropping. I know Stephen A. Smith talking about ratings are up, but not a lot of people are watching TV like they used to because now TV is not the only source, you know. And my thing is with the media, just be fair about it. Be fair in speaking on a person. Take away your bias. It's just like the MVP thing, right? I think they should take away all these people that vote, right? Because a lot of these people are biased, right? I love Shea, right? I love Shea's game, but if I'm a voter, right, I'm not gonna be biased. These people have totaled their votes before the regular season even ended. Months ago, they had Shea winning it, and I think that's wrong. You gotta play through the whole year. Then after the year is done, then you go to the drawing board and vote for your guy. Or no, not your guy, the guy that should win. Because I think years have passed, they have robbed guys from MVP. They have robbed guys from defensive players of the year. I think LeBron should have got one. They robbed him. So you gotta I think they should have a special panel of guys. You run them through different tests to see, if they're gonna be biased or whatever. They have to go to a certain amount of games. When it's coming down, you narrow it down to 5. Then when the end of the year, you narrow it down to 3. Then when the end of the year comes, you narrow it down to 2. You got to study everything. You know what I mean? These guys get paid a salary to do these votes. That's how I would do it, and I could be one of them because I'm not biased. You know what I mean?
they,
You
they
could
shouldn't.
be.
They shouldn't let the media vote. They shouldn't let the media vote.
That's what I'm saying. You can't let the media vote or the players vote because they're gonna be biased. Or former players, you have to get a panel of guys that is gonna be unbiased. You gotta sit down and talk to them and say, yo, all right, this, that, and third. You have to have tunnel vision with that. It can't be who you like. It has to be, and then y'all sit around the table, maybe 10 guys, and y'all do a tally, and y'all discuss who should win defensive player of the game, defensive player of the year, MVP, first team, second team, third team, um, rookie of the year. You all had these debates, but you got to go see these guys play. You got to study their numbers. You got to go to these different games. They should pay 10 guys to do that. That's just their job. And I think they will get it right. It will be better than what it is because now guys are being biased. Guys are voting for the player that they want to win instead of the player that should win. Because if you look at it too, right, there are plenty of guys that should have won 3 MVPs in a row. because Larry Bird won 3 MVPs in a row, they're trying to save history. They don't want nobody to win 3 MVPs in a row. When Jordan should have won 3 MVPs in a row. Shaq should have won a couple of MVPs in a row. LeBron, Giannis, Joker. I could go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop being biased. That's what these guys do. They got their favorites, and the guys they dislike, they'll never vote for. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that a man that's in the top, what, in 5 categories, this man is in the top 3 and 4 to 5 categories. I think it's more categories than that. Joker, first big man to average a triple double. You can't tell me that you already had an MVP 4 months ago. You already say, yo, he was the MVP. Oh, man. And the NBA could afford to pick 10 guys to do that. They got all this money. Pick 10 guys that you know, yo, they gonna sit there and they gonna get it right. And all of the 10 guys, it has to be a vote, and they have to sit down and talk about it. And it has to be unanimous for them to win the MVP. That's how they should do it to me. They're probably not going to do it, but I would never let the media or the players or ex-players vote on none of that. It got to be neutral people that is studying the game, going to the games, watching, checking their stats, flying around, writing down. Then they got to make reports about, yo, what they saw, all of this. I think they should do that. I've always thought like this. Not only basketball, baseball, football, Hall of Fame too. I think they get it wrong with the Hall of Fame. They punishing Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Roger Clemens for supposedly taking steroids. They don't have no evidence. They claim they do, but there's no stamp evidence that says they took steroids. So the writers are punishing these guys because the steroid era. Listen, Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before. If he did, allegedly, I don't know if he took steroids. Maybe he did, maybe not. But he was a Hall of Fame before the steroid era. He was the 3-time MVP before that. He was a Hall of Famer before that. He had, 400 home runs, 400 stolen bases. Way before that. You punishing these guys when other guys have done things too. So I'm just saying the media needs to change that, man. That's some crazy stuff they're doing. They punishing LeBron. LeBron should have had 3 MVPs. MJ, Giannis, Joker. Who else? I think they robbed Shaq a couple of times for MVP. Them 3 years that Shaq was dominating, he should have at least won 2 MVPs. I think Jason Kidd should have won an MVP 1 year too with the Nets. So that might have been a toss-up because nobody thought the Nets was going to reach the finals when they got Jason Kidd. They reached the finals 2 years in a row. And I think the Nets was probably missing a piece or two to win the championship. Because you imagine if they would have got Vince Carter at their peak of their run, they may have won at his peak. Vince Carter, maybe a Mutombo in his peak. You know, somebody that could have you couldn't stop Shaq. Of course, you couldn't stop Kobe, but you could have offset him with, Vince Carter, Mutombo, with Jason Kidd in his prime, Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin used to jump through the building, play great defense. You got Richard Jefferson, solid small forward, Kerry Kittle. Maybe you have Kerry Kittle come off the bench, start Vince Carter, have Mutombo in the middle there. Kenyon Martin, Mutombo, Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, Vince Carter. They would have gave the Lakers a run for their money. In Vince Carter heyday, I think they got Vince Carter a little too late. They should have got him a few years prior to that. But I don't like how they do this whole vote. Because I
I
remember
like
that
it.
year. Yeah, I remember that year with LeBron when he was supposed to win Defensive Player of the Year, and they gave it to Marc Gasol, and Marc Gasol didn't even make first team; he made second team, and they gave him the Player of the Year. Just like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was first team. The Allen dude was second team. How I don't understand that. I think LeBron that year was first team on defense, right? He might have been first team that year. I think either LeBron James should have won it that year or Tony Allen. Tony Allen or LeBron James, because people don't recognize how great of a defender Tony Allen was. Tony Allen was a great defender. He probably to me top 10 defender I've ever seen. On ball defender. Probably I give that to him, Ron Artest, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. Those to me might be my top 5, 6 defenders of all time. Like people don't even know how great of a defender Michael Jordan was, man. Michael Jordan was a great defender, but Scottie Pippen, I think he might be the greatest on-ball defender ever. He was too on defense. I don't know if that's before your time, but I'm talking about guys that are actually seen. And as far as like big men defender, I haven't seen Hakeem Olajuwon. That's another one. That's why when you talking about Embiid and Olajuwon, people don't recognize how great Olajuwon was on both ends of the ball. He wasn't just great on the offensive side, but defensively, that man was a problem, man, on defense. And he had tremendous footwork and fundamentals. Like he played now, man, he averaged 30 something points easy, because they don't even have all the big men they had in those times. But just like his footwork and his jump shot, and now they shooting threes because he could have stepped back and probably shoot some threes. But as far as like defensively, man, I don't think people recognize how great those guys were as a defender. Like Dennis Rodman too is another one. He was minus all his antics as a defender though. He was no joke. But Tony Allen or LeBron James that year, I would say LeBron James first and maybe Tony Allen second. Because in his heyday too, LeBron for like 4 or 5 years was like a peak defender. He couldn't do nothing. I remember that year with they faced the Bulls and LeBron went on Derrick Rose. He was glued to him. I was like, Derrick Rose couldn't do nothing, man.
Yeah.
I said, man, remember that year?
Yeah.
He was all over Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose killing him too. He's like, I got it. I don't know what you feel about all of that, but I think they need to change the rules with that stuff. Give people a salary. I'll raise my hand to do that. So if y'all see this video, you can hire me. I won't charge you crazy. And I'll get it right. No bias in me. The right man will win. Like this year, Joker should win. But he ain't gonna win. I think last year is when Shea got robbed, but because they gotta make it up to Shea, they're gonna give it to him this year. But Shea should have got it last year. That's who should have won last year. But instead, they gave it to Joker, and Joker has way better numbers than he had last year. He averaged a triple double. No big man in history has done that. But you give it to Shea, I'm giving it to Joker. But Shea already won it. It just hasn't announced it yet. I don't know when they're gonna announce
I
it. What
think
I'm hearing.
I don't know when they're gonna listen to you. Cleveland just lost.
Cleveland lost.
Yeah.
Man, man. It's gonna be Knicks and the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nobody had these two teams made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody had these teams making.
Especially not the Pacers.
Whoever win tonight is winning the series. So if Denver win tonight, they win in the series. OKC win tonight, they win in the series. Whoever win this game, win in the series. And that's one of the teams I picked to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. But the injuries, man. I think if they had their whole team, I don't think they'd be too. Oh, Pacers are good.
Indiana, yeah. Going into
2
the
years
they
in a
got
row. Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row. So you got anything else you want to react to? I think you some crazy stuff, man. You want to do one more reaction before we get out of here?
well, we can do one more, yeah. So this.
Damn, I didn't think they was gonna lose.
Shador shuts down Travis Hunter. So,
both sides. This what I don't understand. If me and Trav show we could do it place after place after place, what changed? People said from Jackson State to even going Power 5 that he wasn't going to be able to do that, and I wasn't going to succeed. And we exceeded expectations. So it's like now here goes another roadblock that people are going to say we may not succeed or we won't be able to do certain things. And it's like we're here to just prove it wrong again. Both sides. This what I don't understand.
I don't know. I haven't heard anybody talk about Travis Hunter. You know.
Oh yeah, they talk about
doubting Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah, they doubting that play. He could play. They saying he can't play on both sides.
Oh, they were saying that in college though. Yeah.
No, they've been doubting them. Before they got to Colorado, they said they wouldn't do anything in Colorado. When they went to Jackson State, it was like it's a big mistake. So he's right. But see, I've been following these. Like I said, I've been following Shador since he was in high school. Shiloh, because because one day I want to coach high school football, basketball. So I've been like looking around and studying. I think when I get a little older, I think that's something that I want to do. Coaching kids because some of these coaches, I think they go too far with these kids for some things. But then some coaches don't don't instill discipline in these kids as well. Because you got to be disciplined. But yeah, they've been hating on them two for years. Saying that what he's saying is true. I seen it with him. So and well, they hating on him more now because look where he was drafted.
Right.
Drafted in the 5th round. But that doesn't mean he can't be great.
Right.
So Tom Brady, Shannon Shaw, they was drafted way after him. So
That's why I can't wait till preseason because I want to see them. I want to see Shador in game action. You know, you gotta see him put the pads on. Like that, I think Joe Flacco will have the number one. You know, I think he'll be the number one quarterback coming in. But I think it's a battle for the number two spot between Dylan Gabriel and Shador.
I don't think they're gonna start Flacco.
You don't? Hey, the Browns. He won with the Browns before.
I know, but at this current moment, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
With Travis, I wish Trevor Lawrence was better at this point, but man, I don't know what they're gonna do in Jacksonville. I feel like they'll be like better than Tennessee, so I think they'll be like third in the AFC South. But it'd be
I
interesting.
don't know.
Jacksonville will be watchable because of Travis, and they got Brian Thomas too. Brian Thomas.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't played bad. They got to the playoffs a couple of times. He's been to the Pro Bowl, so he just had a couple of injuries. He hasn't been terrible. He's been pretty solid, pretty good when he plays. And got him to the playoffs. So yeah, I can like Trevor Lawrence scrub or something. That's the guy came from your school. He's just like he's not a scrub. Like and he made it to the Pro Bowl. He had a couple of solid seasons. So he's better than your guy and coach. Better than him.
That's
Hey, I'm talking about right at the moment.
Right now he is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you can't talk you can't talk down on a man that's better than your quarterback.
I think Richardson will have a huge jump. I think he will. I seriously think he will. Because
barring injury,
definitely.
Because injuries mess you up. So, but when you gonna do this again, man? I kind of wish you would have reacted to one of these videos that I sent you with these two kids.
I saw that.
Two kids with the gun.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw that you said. I saw everything that you said.
It was crazy. I said, man. I said, what if that was two black kids? How would it transpire? I'm just glad they didn't shoot those kids, though. Those kids had to be no more than 6 years old. 6 to 7. And they had a gun in their hand. That's something I don't know if I could do. I don't know if I could shoot a kid. I don't know. That's why in the military, it has been hard for me to do something like that. To where some some guys probably had to do that too, you know. But to shoot a kid, I think that would bother me. Shoot a kid or old lady or old man or something like that. But I'm like, yo, I'm looking at the video. I'm like, man, I hope they don't shoot me. Cause they like, put down the gun. But they don't know no better. They two little kids.
Right.
I don't know how they got the gun in the first place, but yeah, that video was crazy. I kind of was saying to myself, maybe you might pick that video. But that video was crazy. So what you do mostly videos on? Cause that's been a while since I checked out the channel.
Usually, react to the Darman videos. Now, Darman makes life lesson videos, and they're kind of, they're basic, like like what's gonna happen like within like the first 2 minutes of the video, like really, like everything is like laid out. Honestly, that's why it's kind of cringe. It's kind of cringe. So I have a good time like watching the videos. But
Is that the video that you did that I checked out that one time? That was like your first video, I think, on your channel.
Yeah.
With them little white kids.
Yeah, Jay and Mike? Yeah, Jay and Mikey. Yeah, they're kids. Yeah.
I never heard of this Darman thing.
And there's another channel called Tomorrow's Teachings, and they make like they're like a Darman clone, but they make wild like videos, but their videos have not been hitting the same as before, so I haven't been reacting to them either. So, but I'll get back on it soon. I've been focusing on the sports channel. Posting shorts.
Yo, y'all doing the show on Wednesday? What happened to
Wednesday?
Monday and Wednesday? Yeah, I used to do
No,
Monday and Wednesday.
No, we just decided just to do Mondays again.
Yo, y'all should do this.
Only time we post on Wednesdays.
Yo, listen, I should do one playoffs, man. Got to build up the stream. So you should definitely do Monday and Wednesday. Even if you got to get on there by yourself, get on there and do it. You can hear me?
Yeah.
I think this one died. So you get on there and do something on Wednesday. I mean, it's playoff time. I think, that's how you build up your, maybe you could do like live reactions to the game too. You could watch the game like how we did for the football.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that. That one time we did it on TikTok. I got like 1,000 people on there one time. So, yo, you should do that. Reacting to the game, you watching the game, you like such and such this scored, and get a live reaction. What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, you should definitely do that. I was like, what happened to Wednesday? I remember I was doing it Monday and Wednesday. But you got to do this again. I don't know when you're going to do it again. But this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. It's my first time reacting to anything on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, man.
Easy content to make.
Huh?
Easy content to make. All you gotta do is just,
Yeah,
the
there's
video.
plenty of things you could do to build up your channel though. You just gotta be more consistent with it.
Yeah,
You gotta do it. You gotta do it like every other day. Whenever
yeah,
you got free time, even if it's like an hour, half an hour, 45 minutes, just get on there and do it. And then you gotta make shorts out of your videos. 'Cause I gotta make some more shorts for my videos too. But anytime you're doing it again, just hit me up. Maybe we react to something else. So just hit me up. Peace to the people. Whoever, we ain't see nobody in the chat. I'm looking in the chat to see if I see anybody. Nobody came through. But support my family on his channels and show him some love. Share the video, share the channel, subscribe, comment, like, get some positive reactions, no hate. Even though he's biased sometimes, he's still a good guy. He's not a hateful guy, not disrespectful. So support. This is the type of content you guys need to support. Okay? Stop supporting this trash stuff out here. People always want to do fighting, sex, and all of this stuff. Violence. This is some good, positive content, positive reaction, and honest dialogue. Support, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back again. Peace and love to the people. And just hit me up when you want to do another one, man.
for sure.
Peace to the people, man.